Okay, so to recap scene 3, scene 3 is actually a really huge scene. We find out that the witches predict that Macbeth is going to be Thane of Cawdor, Thane of Glamis, and he will be king, and that Banquo will have sons that are king, but he won't be king. So it's all kind of confusing. We also learned that Banquo thinks that the witches are a little bit ridiculous, and he's like, why are you listening to this? And Macbeth is kind of like, I'm a little interested, and I kind of want this to happen. Then we find out that Macbeth is actually appointed Thane of Cawdor, so he starts to get a little uneasy and really thinking a lot to himself, which on stage that's called a soliloquy. And he kind of wants to become king now, and he's kind of starting to want to do this. So in scene 4, one of the best things that I can go over for you is lines 48 through 53. Make sure you're still filling in everything else, but I'm just going to go over what I think you should really know for the test and so that you understand this play fully. But again, Macbeth has an aside that's called a soliloquy. So you spell that solil. Oh, I always spell it incorrectly. Okay, which is basically their personal thoughts on stage. And in these lines, which I want us to highlight, Macbeth is kind of really wanting to have all of this. So he's starting to say that stars hide your fires. Fires would be like ambition. And don't let anyone see that you actually want to be king and have all of these things happen. So he is basically saying hide his ambition. And he doesn't want people to see. So there are a few topics for themes that go on in Macbeth. One of them is ambition. Another one is the concept of fate and the self-fulfilling prophecy. So is Macbeth becoming Thane of Cawdor and having all of these things happen because he was told, or is it that they were fate and they were going to happen all the time anyway? So I think that's a really interesting thing to ponder, and we'll talk about that more in class next week. Okay, I'm going to make another video for you for scene 5 and 6. I hope you're doing excellent. I will see you guys next week.